There are other BTK inhibitors in clinical trials for CLL. There are a couple of them at this time. There's acalabrutinib, there's zanubrutinib. Gilead also has a drug that's being looked at. None of them are actually approved for the treatment of CLL yet. The only one that has an approval at all is acalabrutinib, which has been approved for mantle cell lymphoma. There are no other BCL2 inhibitors close on the horizon like there are with the BTK inhibitors, but there are other drugs being looked at, including MCL1 inhibitors. And that's important because there's some early data to suggest that one of the mechanisms of resistance to venetoclax may be upregulation of MCL1. In addition to new BTK inhibitors, in terms of the ones that we know about from acalabrutinib to zanubrutinib, et cetera, there are also other PI3K inhibitors coming out. Duvelisib is a drug that will likely be available for the treatment of CLL sometime this year based on a positive randomized trial versus ofatumumab. And there are some others, such as umbralisib, that are also in registration trials. There is a lot of interest in combining B-cell receptor inhibitors of different families or combining some of the PI3K inhibitors with venetoclax, the BCL2 inhibitor. And so I think we will see more and more combination therapies moving forward. I think what's going to happen in the long run in the treatment of CLL is that we're moving towards small molecule combinations, either with or without antibody. And these combinations are very exciting because early data suggests high response rates and high levels of MRD negativity. And the other exciting point about this and what may change treatment compared to what we do now with small molecules is that the ability to have a high rate of MRD negativity may allow finite therapy. In other words, we may be able to discontinue those patients from treatment, and that's very exciting as opposed to telling a patient that they're going to be on a therapy sort of for life. One of the challenges of having all of these novel agents is how to sequence them. And that we're still learning. Some of it right now is we sequence them based on what's approved for what indication, et cetera, and what works when the other drug doesn't work. But we will be able to learn a lot more about this moving forward. Don't forget that ibrutinib was only approved probably about 4 years ago. So in the interim, we've had duvelisib, we've had venetoclax, we may have duvelisib this year. So the landscape is changing so rapidly that we're really learning on our feet. And I think sequencing is going to be important moving forward.